Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Thursday, August 21st, Devon's discovery, Claire's satisfaction, Victor's curveball. Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Thursday, August 21st, 2025. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Devon Winters, Bryton James, to make a discovery. Meanwhile, Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, might be a little too satisfied with exposing Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. Make sure to check out our weekly Y&R spoilers, here. Devon Winters' discovery. Over with Devon, he will make a discovery. The man will tell Nate that he should ask himself what his intuition is telling him. As much as he cares for Audra, if she's just blaming everyone else, that's not responsibility or accountability. What is this? It seems that Audra could lose Nate forever, which will just make her even more angry and bitter. Devon might encourage Nate to push Audra into confessing. It seems Nate does that later this week. Y&R Devon Winters' discovery. The Young and the Restless has always thrived on the balance between high-stakes business drama, family turmoil, and jaw-dropping revelations, and once again Devon Winters finds himself right at the center of it all. Devon's latest discovery is not just another twist for the Chancellor Winters heir but a development that could alter the trajectory of several storylines in Genoa City. As a man who has carried the weight of legacies, business empires, and family expectations, Devon is no stranger to secrets being unearthed. Yet, what he stumbles upon this time could reshape alliances, threaten relationships, and ignite conflicts that the Newman, Abbott, and Winters families won't be able to ignore. Devon has long been portrayed as the rational anchor in a world of chaos, someone who rarely lets emotions cloud his decisions. But when discoveries are made in soap operas, especially ones connected to money, power, or family ties, even the most level-headed characters find themselves spinning. His past battles with grief, betrayal, and corporate maneuvering have prepared him for challenges, but this latest revelation is one that forces him to re-examine his trust in those closest to him. With Chancellor Winters already walking a tightrope between loyalty and ambition, Devon's discovery could serve as the tipping point for the empire he has worked so hard to protect. The story begins when Devon, working late nights at the office, notices discrepancies in the financial reports that don't quite add up. Being the meticulous businessman he is, Devon knows when something doesn't fit the pattern. At first, he assumes it might be a minor clerical issue, the kind of mistake that an intern or accountant could easily explain away. But his instincts won't let him dismiss it. Instead, he digs deeper, combing through layers of documents, contracts, and hidden transactions that seem deliberately disguised. The more he investigates, the more he realizes this isn't a simple oversight, it's a cover-up. Someone with inside access has been moving funds in a way that suggests a larger agenda. Devon's discovery is the first step toward unraveling a tangled web that could implicate not only business rivals but even his own family. This situation immediately raises questions about Audra Charles, the ambitious and cunning executive who has never been far from controversy. Devon has already been wary of her motives, especially since her history with Noah and her tendency to play both sides of every deal. Could Audra be manipulating company assets for her own personal gain? Or is she simply a pawn in a much larger scheme orchestrated by someone far more powerful? Devon knows Audra is capable of deception, but what he finds points to something beyond her usual brand of ambition. The scheme seems too sophisticated, too carefully hidden, as though designed by someone with long-term control in mind. Of course, when secrets start surfacing in Genoa City, it is impossible not to consider Victor Newman's involvement. Victor has always had a hand in manipulating financial and corporate landscapes to suit his vision. For years, Devon has been cautious about aligning too closely with Newman Enterprises, fearing that Chancellor Winters could lose its independence under Victor's shadow. But if Devon's discovery shows Victor's fingerprints, it could ignite another feud between the Winters and Newman families, one that would drag Nate, Abby, and even Lily into the fire. The Winters' legacy has already been tested by Nate's betrayal and Chancellor Winters' internal strife. Another round of corporate warfare could fracture the family beyond repair. On a personal level, Devon's discovery affects more than just his business. His relationship with Abby has been built on trust, healing, and a desire for stability. Abby has stood by him through professional setbacks and personal grief, but if this new revelation implicates her family in any way, their romance could face serious strain. Abby, as Victor's daughter, would inevitably feel torn between loyalty to her father and the love she has built with Devon. Their ability to weather this storm depends on whether Abby chooses to shield Victor or stand beside Devon as he uncovers the truth. Soap fans know that love often takes a back seat when Newman family secrets come to light, and Devon and Abby may not be immune to the fallout. What makes this discovery even more compelling is the possibility that it is tied to Catherine Chancellor's legacy. Devon has always been deeply protective of his grandmother's empire, ensuring that her vision for Chancellor Industries remained intact. If the financial inconsistencies suggest that someone is undermining Catherine's legacy, Devon will stop at nothing to expose them. This storyline could reawaken old rivalries, particularly with Jill Abbott, who has been fiercely protective of her own stake in the Chancellor Winters empire. Jill's tendency to bulldoze her way through conflicts could clash with Devon's methodical approach, leading to an explosive showdown between two of Genoa City's most stubborn players. As Devon continues his investigation, he uncovers a shocking detail. The trail of hidden funds leads to an offshore account linked not to a current rival but to someone from his past. Could Hillary's name somehow resurface in the paperwork, hinting at unfinished business or lingering secrets from her time in the media world? Could this connect back to Amanda Sinclair, Hillary's twin, whose presence in Genoa City already caused emotional turmoil for Devon? Soap operas thrive on tying new revelations to past traumas, and Devon's discovery could reawaken the emotional scars he thought were long buried. The tension builds as Devon grapples with the moral dilemma of how to proceed. If he goes public with his discovery too soon, he risks destabilizing Chancellor Winters and destroying the trust of his colleagues. If he waits too long, the mastermind behind the scheme could cover their tracks, leaving Devon with no proof. This tightrope walk between urgency and caution creates the kind of suspense that fans love to watch unfold. Every move Devon makes is calculated, but every delay increases the risk of someone finding out that he's onto them. Meanwhile, the ripple effects of his discovery spread across Genoa City. Nate Hastings, eager to regain his family's trust, sees Devon's struggle as an opportunity to prove his loyalty. But can Devon truly trust Nate after everything that happened between them? Lily, on the other hand, might push for transparency and honesty, demanding that Devon share his findings before the situation spirals out of control. Their sibling dynamic has been tested repeatedly, and this could be the ultimate test of whether the Winters family can stand united or if old wounds will reopen. As the storyline builds toward a climax, the question remains, who is behind the scheme Devon has uncovered? Is it Victor, tightening his grip on Chancellor Winters from the shadows? Is it Audra, driven by ambition and cunning enough to outsmart even Devon? Could it be Jill, maneuvering for power in ways that surprise even the most seasoned viewers? Or is it someone completely unexpected, a ghost from Devon's past who has returned to reclaim what they believe is rightfully theirs? Devon Winters' discovery is more than just a plot device, it is a catalyst for drama that intertwines family, business, love, and betrayal. As the pieces fall into place, fans can expect explosive confrontations, emotional breakdowns, and shocking twists that will keep Genoa City buzzing for weeks to come. Devon's role as both detective and protector makes him the heart of this storyline, and his ability to navigate the storm will determine not only his future but the future of everyone connected to Chancellor Winters. The beauty of this storyline lies in its unpredictability. Just when Devon thinks he has identified the culprit, a new layer of deception is revealed. Just when Abby believes she can stand firmly beside him, she learns a truth about her family that shakes her to the core. Just when Nate and Lily think they've earned back Devon's trust, another betrayal emerges. And in classic Y&R fashion, the climax of this storyline will likely come during a high-stakes confrontation, perhaps a shareholders' meeting, a press conference, or even a dramatic gala, where Devon finally exposes the truth to Genoa City. Devon Winter's discovery is a reminder that in the world of the young and the restless, nothing stays hidden forever. Secrets always surface, legacies are always tested, and love is always put to the ultimate challenge. For Devon, this discovery is not just about protecting a company or exposing a lie, it is about honoring his grandmother's legacy, preserving his family's future, and proving once again that even in the most ruthless world of power and betrayal, integrity can still prevail. Jack Abbott's wisdom. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, August 21st reveal that Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, will share some wisdom with Kyle. Both Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott, Swan Walters, are worried about Kyle. The young man deceived Claire and didn't tell her the truth about the whole story with Audra. Jack might push his son to be honest before Claire finds out another way. Y&R Jack Abbott's wisdom. Jack Abbott has always been more than just a titan of industry in Genoa City, he is the embodiment of resilience, charm, and the delicate balance between ruthless ambition and heartfelt compassion. On The Young and the Restless, Jack is a man who has lived many lives within one, having been a playboy, a rival, a father, a brother, a son, and a leader. Through every storm that has come his way, Jack has gathered wisdom that defines his presence on the canvas. Whether it's navigating business rivalries with Victor Newman, protecting the Abbott family legacy at Jabot, or guiding his loved ones through emotional upheaval, Jack's wisdom has become a cornerstone of Genoa City's storytelling. And now, as the show pivots toward another chapter of family power struggles and emotional crossroads, Jack Abbott's wisdom is needed more than ever. The Abbott family has always been a symbol of both unity and fracture. John Abbott's legacy left a standard that Jack has worked tirelessly to uphold, but keeping the family together has never been easy. Ashley's brilliance often comes with stubborn independence, Billy's impulsiveness repeatedly threatens stability, and Kyle's constant tug-of-war between loyalty and ambition tests the strength of the Abbott name. Yet Jack, through patience and perspective, continues to steer them forward. His wisdom has been forged not by perfection but by mistakes, failed marriages, business missteps, and personal regrets that have shaped his outlook. Unlike Victor Newman, who wields power with manipulation and dominance, Jack's approach leans toward empathy, negotiation, and the belief that integrity should never be sacrificed for short-term victories. One of the most powerful demonstrations of Jack's wisdom has always been his willingness to forgive, even when forgiveness is the hardest path. He has endured betrayals from those closest to him, Phyllis's infidelity with his own brother Nick, Billy's reckless choices, Ashley's willingness to align against him in corporate battles, yet Jack repeatedly chooses reconciliation over revenge. This isn't because Jack is weak or blind to reality, it is because he understands that holding on to bitterness poisons the very foundation of family. His advice to Kyle in recent years reflects this philosophy: mistakes will happen, but what defines a man is how he learns, grows, and repairs the damage. That kind of perspective only comes from decades of enduring pain while still choosing to rise above it. In the boardroom, Jack's wisdom also shines. Unlike the endless scheming that dominates Victor's tactics, Jack has learned to blend strategy with foresight. He knows that Jabot is not just a company but a legacy of his father's values, rooted in innovation, creativity, and trust. When rivals come for Jabot, Jack doesn't just fight to win, he fights to preserve the identity of the company itself. His ability to anticipate the long-term consequences of decisions is what has kept Jabot afloat through multiple hostile takeovers, power struggles, and betrayals. While Victor might win battles through intimidation, Jack often wins wars by playing the long game. His wisdom lies in knowing when to strike and when to step back, when to trust and when to test loyalty, when to fight fiercely and when to walk away with dignity. Jack's personal wisdom often emerges most poignantly in his romantic life. While his heart has been broken many times, he has never let bitterness define his outlook on love. His relationships with women like Phyllis, Nikki, Diane, and countless others have all been marked by passion, betrayal, and heartbreak, yet Jack continues to believe in the possibility of love. His current relationship with Diane Jenkins is a prime example. Many in Genoa City doubted Jack's decision to welcome Diane back into his life after years of deception, but Jack's wisdom allowed him to look beyond the mistakes of the past and focus on the present growth Diane has demonstrated. His decision wasn't naive, it was grounded in the belief that people can change, that redemption is possible, and that love sometimes requires taking risks. For Jack, wisdom means seeing both the danger and the possibility in every choice. Fans of The Young and the Restless often debate whether Jack is too forgiving or too trusting. But the truth is, Jack's wisdom lies in his ability to accept people as they are while still holding them accountable. When Kyle falters, Jack doesn't simply scold him, he shares stories of his own failures, using his past as a tool to teach. When Billy spirals into chaos, Jack doesn't abandon him, he offers tough love, balancing compassion with boundaries. When Ashley insists on going her own way, Jack doesn't try to control her, he supports her independence while reminding her of the family's core values. In each of these situations, Jack embodies the quiet strength of a man who has been broken and rebuilt more times than anyone can count. Jack's wisdom also manifests in his rivalry with Victor Newman, one of the most iconic feuds in soap history. For decades, Jack and Victor have gone toe-to-toe, each representing different philosophies of leadership and power. Victor thrives on control, secrecy, and intimidation, while Jack believes in transparency, collaboration, and respect. Though Victor often emerges victorious in the short term, Jack's ability to endure, to learn from defeats, and to rebuild is what keeps him formidable. His wisdom allows him to recognize that while Victor may win certain battles, Jack's resilience ensures that the Abbott family's legacy will never truly fall. His refusal to let Victor's tactics drag him into the same darkness has been a defining element of his character, teaching audiences that strength does not always come from domination, it can come from grace and patience as well. Another aspect of Jack's wisdom is his role as a father and grandfather. With Kyle navigating adulthood, parenthood, and business challenges, Jack has stepped into a guiding role that mirrors John Abbott's mentorship of him. Jack's advice to Kyle is often a reflection of the lessons he learned from his father, lessons about integrity, responsibility, and resilience. He doesn't shield Kyle from consequences but instead encourages him to face them head-on, just as John once encouraged Jack. This cycle of wisdom being passed down from generation to generation is what makes the Abbott legacy enduring. Fans see in Jack not just a businessman or a romantic lead but a patriarch who embodies the very soul of the Abbott family. The true weight of Jack Abbott's wisdom is felt in moments of crisis. When the Abbott family splinters, when Jabot is under threat, when loved ones falter, Jack steps forward not with arrogance but with steadiness. His calm presence, his ability to listen, and his skill at choosing the right words at the right time make him the heart of the Abbott clan. He doesn't always have the perfect solution, but he always has the perspective to keep others grounded. Wisdom, in Jack's case, is not about being flawless, it is about being human, acknowledging mistakes, and continuing to move. Using it to guide others. Whether he is counseling Kyle, confronting Victor, or protecting Jabot, Jack Abbott's wisdom continues to shape the fabric of Genoa City. He is a character who teaches not only those within the show but also the viewers watching at home, that strength lies in compassion, that dignity matters more than dominance, and that wisdom is forged through experience. Jack Abbott's wisdom is timeless, and it ensures that no matter what storms come to Genoa City, the Abbott family, and the legacy of John Abbott, will endure. His role is more than that of a businessman or a patriarch. He is a reminder that even in a world filled with betrayal and ambition, there is power in patience, grace, and hope. For fans of The Young and the Restless, Jack's wisdom is not just part of his character, it is the very heart of why the Abbotts remain one of the most beloved families in daytime television history. Victor Newman's curveball. Fans will also see Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, throw a shocking curveball. Does this have something to do with Claire or maybe Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn? Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, are both furious with Victor. However, he will always insist that he is right and that this is the only way. Read this, The Young and the Restless spoilers, 3 things Nick could do to upset Sharon and ruin a reunion. What is this? Victor Newman's curveball. When it comes to power players in Genoa City, nobody delivers a shockwave like Victor Newman. For decades on The Young and the Restless, Victor has built his empire on ruthless strategy, unwavering ambition, and a knack for staying 3 steps ahead of his rivals. But even for a man who thrives on surprises, Victor's latest curveball has Genoa City reeling. It is not just another business move or family ultimatum, it is a calculated twist that changes the rules of the game, forcing everyone from his children to his enemies to scramble in response. Victor has always been a master manipulator, but this curveball reminds everyone that underestimating him is the quickest way to lose everything. The Newman patriarch has never played a straightforward game. From hostile takeovers to secret alliances, Victor's power lies in his ability to anticipate the moves of others while concealing his own. Yet what makes this latest twist so intriguing is that it appears to defy even the expectations his family has come to rely on. For years, the Newman children, Victoria, Nick, Adam, and even Abby, have lived in the shadow of their father's dominance. They know that Victor's plans are never simple, and his promises always come with conditions. But this time, Victor has thrown them all off balance. His curveball is not about cutting them out or reining them in. Instead, it is about reshaping the future of the Newman legacy in a way that challenges their loyalty, forces them to confront their ambitions, and tests their willingness to play by Victor's rules. At the heart of Victor's curveball lies Newman Enterprises, the crown jewel of his empire. For months, the company has been a battlefield, with Victoria asserting her authority as CEO, Adam demanding recognition for his contributions, and Nick struggling to find his place between family and independence. Just when it seemed Victor was content to let Victoria maintain her grip, he drops a bombshell, a restructuring plan that redistributes power in unexpected ways. No one saw it coming. Instead of consolidating leadership under one heir, Victor has announced that each Newman child will be given a stake in a new division, forcing them to prove their worth on their own terms. This move blindsides Victoria, who believed she had earned the right to be her father's undisputed successor. It unsettles Adam, who sees both opportunity and manipulation in the offer. It even rattles Nick, who wanted distance from corporate wars but suddenly finds himself pulled back into the fold. This curveball is classic Victor, forcing his children to compete, to reveal their true priorities, and to show whether they have the vision to carry the Newman name forward. It is a dangerous game of divide and conquer, one that pits sibling against sibling while keeping Victor firmly in control. His wisdom lies in knowing that his children's ambitions can only sharpen if they are tested against one another. But his flaw, as always, may be underestimating just how far those rivalries can go before they fracture the family beyond repair. Adding to the complexity is Adam's role in the curveball. For years, Adam has been the outsider, the son who feels like he must fight for every ounce of recognition. Victor's new plan appears to give Adam a seat at the table, but is it genuine or another setup to watch him fail? Adam's skepticism clashes with his hunger for respect, making him the wild card in this new power structure. Meanwhile, Victoria bristles at having her authority questioned, interpreting Victor's move as yet another slight against her leadership. Nick, ever the reluctant executive, finds himself caught between his desire to keep the peace and his father's unrelenting demand that he choose sides. Abby, though less directly involved, is also drawn into the ripple effects, knowing that her own legacy as Victor's daughter will be shaped by the outcome of this high-stakes family test. Of course, no Victor Newman curveball would be complete without collateral damage. Newman Enterprises is not the only empire in Genoa City, and Victor's rivals are watching closely. Jack Abbott, always wary of Victor's machinations, wonders if the restructuring signals weakness or strategy. Is Victor setting the stage for Jabot to be targeted, or is he deliberately baiting the abbots into overplaying their hand? Over at Chancellor Winter's, Devon and Lily debate whether Victor's move could destabilize the market and open opportunities for their company. Even Tucker McCall, with his perpetual hunger for power, sees Victor's curveball as both a threat and an opening to make his own move. Beyond business, Victor's latest twist raises questions about his personal motivations. At his core, Victor has always been driven by family, even when his methods leave his loved ones wounded. His desire to secure the Newman legacy often overshadows his children's need for independence. But could this curveball be less about dominance and more about preparing for the future? Victor is not immortal, and though he rarely shows vulnerability, even he must know that the day will come when Newman Enterprises no longer rests in his hands. By forcing his children to rise, or fail, now, Victor ensures that the family empire will survive long after he is gone. It is both ruthless and oddly paternal, a reminder that Victor's love for his family is expressed not through gentleness but through challenges designed to harden them. Still, there is another layer to consider. What if Victor's curveball hides an even bigger secret? Soap opera history has taught viewers that Victor rarely shows his full hand. Could the restructuring be a smokescreen for a larger acquisition, a merger that no one else sees coming? Is he preparing to align Newman Enterprises with another powerhouse, perhaps even pulling Jabot or Chancellor Winters into his orbit? Or is Victor quietly plotting to eliminate a rival by distracting everyone with internal family drama while he moves in for the kill? The uncertainty is what makes the storyline so electrifying. With Victor Newman, the surface is never the full story. The emotional fallout of this curveball is just as compelling as the business implications. Victoria feels betrayed by her father yet again, her identity as his heir constantly questioned despite years of loyalty and sacrifice. Adam, desperate for legitimacy, wrestles with the possibility that his father might finally be giving him a chance, or setting him up to fail spectacularly. Nick, weary of the endless battles, wonders if it is worth staying in the family business at all. And Abby, often overlooked, may finally demand her place in the legacy, determined not to let her voice be silenced. Each of them is forced to confront not just their father's expectations but their own deepest insecurities. For viewers, the brilliance of Victor's curveball lies in its unpredictability. Every choice the Newman children make in response to his twist reveals more about their character, their priorities, and their willingness to play their father's game. The storyline becomes a chess match not only between Victor and his children but among the siblings themselves, with alliances forming and shattering as loyalties are tested. It is a storyline rich with potential betrayals, reconciliations, and shocking twists that will ripple across Genoa City for months. Victor Newman has built his life on control, and his curveball is proof that even in his later years, he remains the master of the game. His enemies may scoff, his children may rebel, and his family may fracture, but Victor thrives in chaos. His brilliance lies in knowing that when others are off balance, he is at his strongest. And as long as Victor Newman is standing, no one in Genoa City can ever truly rest easy. Victor's curveball is not just a plot twist, it is a declaration. It reminds everyone in Genoa City that Victor Newman is still the man who defines power, the man who can turn allies into rivals with a single decision, and the man whose every move shapes the destiny of not just his family but the entire town. And as fans know all too well, the most dangerous thing you can do is assume you know Victor's endgame. Because with Victor Newman, the next curveball is always just around the corner. Thursday, August 21, 2025. I do wonder if he will continue going too far. We have already seen Claire's satisfaction by exposing Audra. If Kyle continues hiding secrets from Claire, she could turn back to her sinister ways. Claire promised her grandmother she wasn't going to be like Jordan, Colleen Zenk. However, once she has her heart ripped out of her chest, all bets will be off. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Thursday, August 21, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next.